Hello, my name's John, this is a Mutant Ogryn, and you're watching Wargames, Models and Other Hobbies. Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be converting this Mutant Ogryn into a Plague Zombie Ogryn. So, slightly different from a Plague Ogryn that used to be available from Forge World. This is going to be an Ogryn that's been infected by the zombie plague for use in Necromunda. So, these are all of the parts for it. The first thing that I'm going to do is strip off from the body and the other parts the bits that I don't need. I've got an idea how I want this to turn out, so we'll see in this video if I can make it work. So I'm going to trim off all of the spikes around this Ogryn, but I am going to keep them all because they're perfect for future projects. Now let's tidy up this body. Now I'm going to scrape off where the spikes were, but I'm still going to leave some bits and pieces because I can make it work for this zombie plague Ogryn. Okay. So while starting with the body, it's going to go on the Necromunda base, so let me trim the stalk off the foot. So it's going to be walking on the base here. Now, the first thing that I actually want to do, I want the foot to be angled inwards, so it looks a bit different from a normal Ogryn. It looks like a zombie trying to kind of walk along. So what I'm going to do, as this body isn't glued together yet, let me pop it apart. And what I'm going to look to do is cut this boot from both the front and back. It's going to be easier now it's in two halves. There we go. Okay, so let me get my glue. I'm going to quickly glue these parts together now that I've trimmed all these sections off. Now there will be components which have some mould lines and things like that on it. I'm not too worried about those at the moment. I will come back to sort those out later on before I get this ready for paint. But the first things first, I just want to get this on. So now I can tidy that stump up a little bit. And now let's glue the boot together. And what I'm probably going to have to do is glue this to the base now for a bit of stability. Okay, so there's the foot. Let me just tidy up some of those edges. And then glue that on at the wrong angle. So I want to make a lot of plague zombies at the moment, and I'm thinking about doing a narrative campaign in Necromunda with a zombie outbreak. Not exactly sure how it's going to go yet, but twist that around a little bit more. So there are going to be areas of this I'm going to need to green stuff. Actually, I quite like the way that that looks off centre now. I'm going to set that back to dry. Now, just looking at the right arm, at the moment it has this weapon in here. What I want to do is I want it dragging along the remains of an Ogryn Ripper gun. So there's a little bit of kind of its past weapons being used as a club or something like that. So let's clip that off. So I want to make sure I put this on in the right position. So what I'm going to need to do is hold that arm like that, and then I kind of want it dragging along behind it, so it looks like it doesn't know what this memory of a faint weapon is or something. It's dragging it along. The thing I like as well, because this spare part from the Ogryn kit, I've lost the ammo boxes from this, the magazines, but it doesn't matter because it kind of adds to the narrative for this Ogryn. Ran out of ammunition, couldn't fight off the zombie horde, became a zombie. Okay, so I'm going to trim this off about here, and let's just flatten that off. There we go. Perfect, let's glue that in place. So I will be doing a video soon making some more plague zombies. I'm going to run through a few different techniques that could be done with new models that are available, as well as old model kits. I do want to make a variety of them, so I'm probably going to use new and old. But I like the idea of, in the horde of zombies, there being one or two boss zombies. Okay. So at the moment, holding it too close to the camera, sorry. So at the moment we've got dragging that old Ripper gun behind. Now I'm going to put a little bit of equipment on its belt from the Renegade Ogryns from Necromunda kit, just as an extra little bit of detail to cover up that little hole that's on the base there. I know it's not necessary. Well, actually I might put it on, put it on the belt there. Actually, I'll leave that to one side for now. We'll have a look at that for further details later on. So what I'm going to need to do is glue this to the base. So let's get plenty of glue on here. So I'm thinking of doing a little bit of sculpting on this as well, which won't be in this video, it'll be in a later one. I seem to always say that when it comes to sculpting, but I actually want to set some time aside to do some sculpting videos. Let's just hold that there. Let's bring that round a little bit. That's better. Alright, while that's in place, let's just run some glue via capillary action down the sides. There we go. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm going to work on the right arm. Now in this kit, the right arm is this mutated claw. What I want to do with this is take the claw off and the spiky details. I'm going to take the spikes off the shoulder pad as well, so it's just the remnants of a normal shoulder pad. And the stump that's left, when I do some extra sculpting on this, I'm going to sculpt some gore and the missing arm. So that's where the Ogryn's been attacked by the original zombies. They've chewed his arm off and then he's reanimated. So let's clip off the claw, chop some little bits away and tidy it up. So while I'm here, I'm just going to glue this little bit of arm in place, as there's nothing holding it in now. So I had originally just push fit all these bits together. Oops. But obviously when it loses its little pins, it's not going to stay in position, is it? Okay, there we go. Perfect. Right, let's trim off these spikes. And smooth them out. Okay, so let's just push that into place and then run some glue around the edge. Quite a big gap there, but I can fix that later on anyway. There we go. Okay, so there's the zombie so far. So the head that comes with, there's two options for the heads. I think I've got the other one just here. So there is the mutated head with a mask and horns. Quite nice head there. That's now for the bits box. And then I've also got the standard head, which has got a snarl on it. Now what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to glue this in place, but I want to re-sculpt the mouth. But to do that, once it's glued and dried in place, I'm then going to have to cut it out or drill it out. And that'll be in the next video for this model. So let's glue that in place. Perfect. Okay, so I want to let this glue dry properly. Actually, I don't think I mind about that missing, not being covered up, that little hole there. That's where the gas mask would plug into. So here is our Plague Zombie Ogryn so far. Missing an arm, which we'll sculpt in the next video. A few little gaps and things that we'll fill in with green stuff as well. And then I'm going to re-sculpt that mouth. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you want to see any more zombie conversion videos, drop a comment. But for now, I'll see you in the next video. My name's John, and you've been watching War Games Models and Other Hobbies.